when you look at something for you, Thor, when you look at LCS, speaking of matchups, I blew Dom's mind with this because he hadn't actually thought about it. Think about the mid laners that are going to Worlds this year from
it's
LCS.
mental. Remember, the LPL and LCK ones is like the Hall of Fame of the best mid laners ever. If you look at the LCS one, think it through, guys. Like, it's like Gory, Palafox, MNS, and who's the fourth one?
APA.
APA, there you go. Enough said, mate. Enough said. The joke is that sounds like I'm reading a fucking Wikipedia entry of what the Academy League was 3 years ago in LCS, you idiots. Like, and they get a ticket to the finals where they'll see the real professional players. Like, they're going to Worlds. This is Worlds. Remember, mid lane's the most important position in the game.
I mean, Gory has been kind of legit in previous years, and he was the best mid laner, but he had some really terrible performances in the playoffs. So I'm at least hopeful that Gory can kind of get it back together.
The thing.
This is a player who did pretty well, like on Nongshim and LCK.
Sure. Here's the thing. I won't hate on Palafox because in some sense he isn't even supposed to be here. He's overperformed. And he's also quite young in his career, to be fair, at the LCS level because he was stuck in academy all those years. The one that I can tell you right now, just, you know what, mark this moment in the VOD. If I'm wrong, great, make a meme compilation. I won't be, so get ready. I tell you what, this Worlds is going to be where Cloud9 has to radically change their lineup after this tournament, mate, because the solo laners of Cloud9 are going to get fucking stomped in this tournament. MNS and Licorice are going, and Fudge are going to get absolutely brutalized. MNS especially, like, there's no way. Mate, that whole thing where at the end of the spring split and like briefly MSI, there was a little window where like, there's some potential here. Remember, dude, people were even doing that story where because of MSI, he like was talking to Chovy. They were like, he wants to play in LCK one day. Well, get the fucking Nongshim spot ready for him, motherfucker, because it ain't going to be for a good team. Are you kidding me? Like, everyone, because Cloud9, so much of the summer split was supposed to be leagues ahead and everyone just assumed they'd win. Dude, everyone gave MNS a fucking pass, mate. I don't get it. He had a bunch of games that were just trash this split. A whole bunch. Like, we're talking like, I need more than one to count them. Of course. In the playoffs, he was criminal, mate. He's one of the reasons they didn't win.
Yeah. I think I've said this for weeks and weeks and weeks, which is that there's no way MNS is on Cloud9 next season. And I think he will get dusted at this Worlds. If he's getting rocks like this in some of these domestic events, like Palafox overperformed.
That reminds me, I've got an angle for you. You won't have seen this because you aren't a dedicated viewer of Travis Gafford Industries content. But every now and then, like a masochist, not I knew him back in the day. Every now and then I'll watch the odd piece. And he did a piece which I thought was really funny. But mate, it actually aged so poorly for the LCS. Did you see this bit? Before the finals, because like obviously there was the low bracket match, then the finals, Travis did a funny skit where he walked around with a camera and he would just ask people, do you know who this pro is? And he had a pro with him. And the pro was Palafox from NRG. He walked around with him and he would ask people at the finals, Monty, fans who have gotten to the finals, do you know who this player is? Most of them didn't know who it was. And he then won the LCS. When he won the LCS, it's only then that I clicked in like, holy shit. Travis has inadvertently exposed that like even the people who go to the games really are just people like, I was a big fan of Scar. It's like they don't know shit about the country. That's so depressing. Like, because you're all now going to pretend, I was loving Palafox's story. It's so inspirational. Like, no, you don't know who he is. Essentially, if he's even stood next to Travis Gafford, you're just like, who is this? A friend of yours, Travis? Like, no, it's only the fucking guy about to win the championship, you idiots. Like, no one knows these guys, mate. No one knows them. No one knows them. And here's the saddest one. I don't even count in that 4 players you're giving me. I don't even count the APA guy, mate. He's barely played anything professionally. Like, it's actually totally reasonable if he gets dumped. And if he can even have the odd pop-off, I'll give him a lot of fucking leeway because he's so fresh. He hasn't even played a whole split, I give him a break.
Yeah, it's not about APA. Like, obviously, Liquid had a bad mid lane situation, and it's good to give this experience. And, they managed to make Worlds with it, which is, again, more of an indictment of North America as a region than anything else, and the failure of Golden Guardians to definitively make it to Worlds, even though they are favorites, I think, when it comes to that 4th place match, given the state of LEC right now. It is just crazy. And I do think Palafox had a very good playoffs run, and I don't want to take away him having a good run of form. And perhaps he has hit the next level. I think he has performed well in a variety of different champions, and he was definitively the best mid laner within the LCS run.
Yeah, he was right.
But at the same time, if that's the new ceiling of mid laners within the LCS, that is hugely problematic.
I mean, spoiler, I've mentioned it a million times, but fucking Rocky didn't make it to Worlds again. And by the way, he's still really good. He's still really good. I mean, we just said it, fucking Zika, who I don't think is that good, but he's better than these players. Even he didn't make it. Like,
right.
Mate, this is dire when we send in these players.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think when we look at LCS right now, it is very, very difficult to get excited because it feels as though the individual player gap is just
the angle, like
crazy.
The only angle you have in theory, right, is the Berserker angle, right? But he plays ADC. Like you're not gonna 1v9 the game. The real joke, and this is the real true indictment of the LCS region. If I actually had to pick for real the one hope you have of a sexy BO1 at Worlds, it's that Summit actually just gaps someone in lane. That's it.
Yeah.
That can happen, by the way. You get the right matchup. That's not impossible, but I doubt you're going to win many games off that. That's the problem, you know.
I think if Golden Guardians returns to form, they actually have a shot as well. If it's regular season Golden Guardians and not playoffs Golden Guardians, I think there's a chance. They did okay.
The problem is that's
they did okay at MSI.
They have some pretty big fundamental flaws at the moment, though. Is the problem. So
in a best of one,
we'll see on that.
In a best of one, they might be able to do something, but. The Berserker thing, he has 1v9 games. I think what's so interesting about C9 as a team is that a lot of times they are unwilling to just let him carry on hyper carries. Like, you're on Ashe now, Berserker. Really? You think that's the best use of Berserker? I'm not sure that that's it. I understand why you're trying to do the things that you do because you think that the strategy is good. But if you have a player who can just gap other players and can hyper carry you to victory, just let him do it, man. Let him cook.
Yeah, but this is also why the West will never be good, Monty. Because you know what? As much as I always thought it was actually mad disrespectful, in China, they really will just be, hello, we have a guy called Uzi. You are all just 4 supports to him. He will do what he wants. They won't do that in the West, mate, because here's the problem. They can't handle the idea that essentially you are sub-communicating. All the rest of you in this room is sort of trash, and he is just a god. Give him everything he needs. Like, they can't simultaneously have that be reality, which it is, but also then have their feelings hurt of like, what do you mean though? Like, I am a good guy from, I don't know Australian accents, so I can't make the segment as funny as it should be, but you have a guy, well, I'm a viable player in my own right, and I have my own ideas. The joke is, it really is like some Ayn Rand novel with like, but I want to contribute my ideas and have my say. You're a shitter, I'm a genius, let me do what I want. Let me do what I want. Let me cook. Exactly, let me cook.
Oh, so yeah, I feel pretty doomed this year, even more than most normal. It's doomed every year, but it feels particularly doomed. That's why
I've already decided. I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to my villain arc. I'm just gonna literally. I've already said this on Best Damn League Show. If you watch that, it'll be out as a VOD by now, I'm sure. I'm just gonna do things like hope that Adam plays the shy, stuff like that. You know, I'm in it. I'm here to watch the world burn now, Monty. I'm just here for evil. That's it. I want to see Palafox against Knight. I want to see all the matchups, mate. I want to see Ruler against fucking. Let me think. Who would I pick for that one? That one probably should be Yon from Team Liquid. Ruler against Yon. There you go. Enjoy that one. 2 Koreans, right? 2 Koreans. Give me a fucking break. The joke is, after seeing this particular split of LCS, I think all the Korean imports should be given an honorary green card. You're not even real Koreans. You're all, there you go. Welcome to America. You're all Americans now. There you go. Problem solved. Ellis Island. Here's Thorin, like, you know, the Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island. Welcome in. Come on in. We'll take all your grifters, grinders, your masters players.
Slackers, especially.
Come on, exactly.
Too good. Yeah. I don't feel too much more optimistic about LEC either, if I'm being honest. A lot of these matches.
The Twitch chat got that one. It should be LS Island, not Ellis Island. There you go. Okay. You got
that one. He sends over his Koreans. He's like, take these Berserkers. Yes.
By the way, that is one of those areas where, even though he's a meta man, LS is so fucking egregious. Because he will sort of be like, you know, and I'm the one who recommended Berserker. Like, that's all you did. Berserker did the rest. Like, we can't acknowledge that, right, LS? It is him him being brilliant at the game and do all like it's not like you make it sound like you fucking jump started the car and then it went off and won the race. Like you sort of did it. It's like did you just said like anyone with eyes? He's pretty fucking sick. Like yeah, fair play. That's good. That is good. Also, here's the worst thing. I'll tell you right now because I don't know if you've seen some of this, but there keeps being this like mini flare up of the drama again on LS's stream. Where what happens is, even though LS Monty, this is what's so weird about this scenario. Even though he himself expressly will not just tell the full story of what happened, and Jack from Cloud9 also doesn't want to tell the full, they can't stop slightly hinting at something that may or may not have happened and whether that did or didn't. And so every time they both do this bitchy little thing like, well, actually, how would he know about that? Well, I do know about that because I've got people inside the well, even if you do though, you don't know everything about that, but I do know because I know about it. It's like, but you never, it's always a blue balls at the end. You never get the payoff because they never then just do say the thing. And the worst thing is, low key, that's just playing in LS's hands, Jack, because for him to constantly be able to go like, I have a secret, but I can't tell you. That's just right. That's his fucking brand, isn't it? Being mysterious and I wish he'd tell us about it. Oh, I can't. It's all fucking. And that whole thing just kills me because it was like 4 weeks or so. Like we were acting like it was like it's like Kobe and Shaq. They didn't play together for like 8 years or something. Like it was like 4 weeks. We just can't ever get past it, no matter what happens now. I think skip the event horizon of LS and Cloud9.
I think what's so funny about this is that it's just an unsolvable problem because on the one hand, LS can use it to continue to drum up mystique around himself. Yeah. And on the other hand, Jack is one of the most conflict avoidant people that I've ever encountered. Yep. And so he won't tell the truth because he doesn't want to deal with like high level drama and information that would come out in a back and forth. So it'll just be never solved, I guess. We just have to deal with this until the end of time.
Exactly.
Just funny. Just funny. But I don't think Jack is ever
as a random aside, I will say this though. Bear in mind, I don't do any shows with us, so I have no other way to say this to him. I will say, in a fucked up way, how did we accidentally backdoor into an LS meta where, unironically, this is what we've all been saying on my European show. It's actually true, Monty. If all you had done from the end of LEC summer till the season finals was have your jungler play Ivern, you unironically actually would be in a really good spot. It sounds like some mad LS meme advice, but it's sort of true. That actually is a really good meta pick right now.
Yeah, it's great.
It actually is.
There were some changes to Ivern, but I do think
yes.
It's just good. I mean, it is also just good, and he was right about it.
But it's his Time Lord Genshin moment, isn't it? Like, it doesn't have to totally be too money. It's about the narrative. Isn't it? You got to crowbar it and make it work. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or be a pleb and don't.